Luke Salazar.
Great, so the good poet finishes and then they leave.
You're a great poet.
You guys are stuck with me. I'm the mediocre poet. Actually, I tried to have a theme for tonight. It was death and destruction.
That's me too.
On
Eric didn't cooperate.
On Scott's
No one told me
recommendation.
this.
But then I realized that that's like 90% of my poetry, so it really wasn't much of a filter. I promised myself I'd only write one bitter divorce poem, and this is it. I was ready for the sour fish hooks of bitter, the wall staring and the hair tearing, but I was not prepared for the servers in all the restaurants where we'd eat together, where I now dine alone. They sing out, "Welcome back, where is your..." Then their voices drift off, unsure if they should say wife or girlfriend or prostitute. Their hands fill the gap with a gesture meant to say, "You know that blonde." Rather than delve into lengthy explanations and shatter their conceptions of love, I tell them the easiest, simplest thing possible. She died.
What restaurant are you going to when the servers have that accent?
I don't know. It's the one where they have their caricatures, you know, with the guy with the mustache. Ars Poetica. Yes, it's Ars Poetica, A-R-S-E. Fair poetess, I must confess, I plucked this posy just for you. A couplet we could maybe be, so may I stop and say haiku? I know you've just metonymy, so pardon this impertinence, but I can sense a synonymy, and you've got one fine assonance. Yeah, this is going to put me way up there on the pickup list for the chicks. Canto, help my lyric gropes. I am your slave, it's no conceit. You've tied me with your nylon tropes, and sin has taxed my heart to beat. It's no illusion, yes, it's real. My diction's got a lot to give. May I enjam my metric foot into your split infinitive? You're too busy being creeped out to realize that it just ended? You're so perverted and sick for having laughed at that. Parsnips. No, that's the poem. It's called Parsnips. He's straightening the peppers. Red and green and yellow bells, ushered into perfect rows by his large, methodical hands. I don't even know what a parsnip looks like, so I ask him where they are. It's raining outside, he says to the peppers. It's raining and time for soup. Hey, that is what it's for, I say. Yeah, we sell a lot of parsnips when it rains. He glances up at me and hurriedly away when it dawns on me. He's autistic. He shuffles over to a bin, picks up something like an albino carrot on steroids, and hands it to me and walks away. And the card on the bin says rutabagas. But I don't doubt him for a moment, because when an autistic man says it's a parsnip, it's a parsnip. And I think a moment about all my own bullshit. All the I'm pretty sure's and all the I think that's and all the I heard somewheres. And look down to realize my hands are fluffing the kale, stacking the collards. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I still don't understand that one. I wrote it. Identity. Born and raised a manly man in prepubescent penis pride, and every male across the land was always right. I took their side. Born and raised American, embraced our flag of stars and bars, had every missile, tank, and gun on Desert Storm collector's cars. words. Yes, they were real. I soon outgrew my ignorance and questioned the authority of people that had programmed us, had scrambled our identities. Then finally, a killing blow with mobs of stupid, sexist fans. Tom Likas on the radio made me ashamed to be a man. At least I still had faith in nation. My pride was soon to be undone. George Walker Bush's war made me ashamed to be American. I'd like to be a woman now, but since I sleep with gals, not men, then logic says I must conclude that I've become a lesbian. I need another country, too. A place that doesn't send its youth to foreign lands to die for oil. I'm thinking Canada will do.
Yeah.
So check your cock and passport in, my male friends, and join the fun. Assume a new identity, the lesbian Canadian. I'm proud to be a lesbian.
Well, at least
Well, no, maybe not. This is close enough to the holidays for me to actually read this. It's called Black Friday. It starts with epigraph. A Walmart worker, Jimtai Jimbo Damour, was killed today when out-of-control shoppers, desperate for bargains, broke down the doors at a 5 a.m. sale. Yahoo News, Friday, November 28th, 2008. That yellow smiley face can kill. It gleefully crushes puny humans as it bounces around the store, rolling back prices and mortals. Who could predict their reaper manifesting as a Starbucks-fueled Egg McMuffin crammed mob of early bird holiday shoppers? When Damour is welcomed at the pearly gates of heaven, will St. Peter wear the uniform of a Walmart greeter? Will Jimbo's family every Christmas morning don their finest Friday blacks like Grandma's family in that fucking stupid reindeer song? And what if his obituary, his official cause of death, killed by the soiled Nikes of unchecked consumer greed? At the funeral, Sam Walton himself places upon Damour's grave a wreath of dollar bills and a name tag in the shape of a purple heart. If you guys have read much poetry, you probably read To His Coy Mistress. Really great hot poem about, hey babe, you need to fuck me right now before we're all dead, because you don't want to die a virgin, do you? And I'm sure it worked, right? But nowadays, there are lots of reasons not to just jump into bed with somebody, and I decided to write the chick's response to, well, for feminist purposes, the woman's response to this poem, and it's called To Her Coercive Master. This is dedicated to all of Marvell's mistresses. There was a fucking stack of them, I guarantee you. I'm going to do my best female voice here.
Uh-oh. What bodies steal, not mere slime. Your crude advancements be no crime. You could chat and laugh and boast, concealing the need you need the most. You could be the normal guy with sugar tongue and roving eye. Pour out sentiments and schmooze, take me out and buy me booze, hoping my defense relax to make the beast that has two backs. A rented room, a cheap hotel where fluids rush and organs swell, and when the morning sun doth creep, sneak out the door while I'm asleep. But times have changed and tools abound that satisfy with a buzzing sound. Do better job than you can do so long as batteries stay true. And if I want a screaming brat, trusty sperm banks and all that, what modern woman nowadays needs a man around anyway? Besides that fact I know too well of pathogens that just might dwell within your bloodstream, in your hair, near hanging sac and derriere. AIDS and clap and herpes too. Who knows what lurks inside your spoon?
And if a thoughtful condom's worn, sometimes this latex can be torn. And even condoms don't prevent scabies or a crab event. So proud of that rhyme. We need companionship in life. A mistress is hardly a wife. But if you speak with honesty and keep the truths that you tell me, we may share more than merely lust, like honor, feeling, love, and trust. This is where you call 2-poem warning. Is it I'm warning you that I have 2 poems left, but they're all 18 pages each. Yet another of my many bad ideas. Disneyland, in line for pirates. My proudly inappropriate sister crows upon the virtues of the Diva Cup. Look it up, ladies. An eco-friendly alternative to pads and tampons, available at your local Whole Foods. No, it really is. By the time she's done, I'm convinced, almost wishing for a vagina of my own. Later, an out-of-the-way corner at Bug's Life, where through shrubs I spy Muslim teens kneeling quietly upon their prayer mats. I tell my ex-Muslim friend the next day and ask her why she lost her faith. Too many hypocrisies for women, she said. She speaks of burqas and forced marriage, and that before they pray, Muslim women must wash every part of their body touched by any man who is not their husband, and that menstruation is considered filthy, and they can't pray in the mosque that week. My bad idea, you ask. An ad campaign for the Diva Cup. A young Muslim woman kneels praying in a crowded mosque. She slips a wink at the reader. The caption reads, Diva Cup, not even Allah will know. Guaranteed not to piss anybody off. Last poem. Thanks for having us in. Thanks for arranging this, Scott. Thanks for coming out, Eric. It's always great to see you and meet with you. Bomb. And thanks everybody this is a great crowd. Word for Windows saved my life. Perhaps it was the word goodbye appearing in the salutation, or my specific pairing of cruel and world. But something triggered that whimsical animated paperclip that sprung out and remarked, you seem to be writing a suicide note. Its offerings were not merely grammatical and syntactical in nature. They included such linguistic suggestions as plummet instead of jump, right? Acrid stench for foul smoke, and incision to replace the admittedly flat cut. And all the while, little Clippy frolicked about the corner of the screen, juggling razor blades, syringes, innocuous pill bottles in their calming shades of caramel, fashioning a noose from its own steel tail, comically rolling bug eyes as it dangled itself from the top border. And that paperclip irritated the fuck out of me, but not much more than it normally does. And I figured, if there were enough of us out there, we writers of suicide notes, to have our own Microsoft template, how alone could I possibly? This document has been changed. Would you like to save your changes? Sure. Thanks, everyone.